Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Here we are again. It's me. Thought I knocked the camera over. It's the duck. Here we are. Oh, I gotta post that picture to let people know I'm live. While I do that, Duck, why don't you tell people?
Well, it's a big week for X-Men fans. We got a lot going on. We got. Well, I mean, last week was issue 44 of Wolverine, part 4 of Sabretooth War, I believe.
Is Wolverine almost done?
They're still going. They're working on their best to finish up that Sabretooth War.
Sabretooth War?
Things are still going on. Wolverine and Sabretooth killing each other.
Killing each other. Straight up murders.
And then we have X-Men coming to a close at issue 35. Issue 32 just came out. So we got 3 more issues and the Krakoan age is officially over.
The Krakoan age coming to an end. How do you feel about that?
And then the biggest one.
What's the biggest one?
This week is the release of issue 1 of Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Which seems like the craziest new direction the X-Men have taken in a long time.
Ever, I think.
And I'm very here for it.
Maybe not ever. Has there been crazier? Excalibur was pretty crazy time.
There's some crazy alt-universe X-Men stuff out there that gets really weird. But right now, I think if you're not checking out the new Ultimate Universe over at Marvel.
What are you doing?
Well, no, first and foremost, yes, there is a new Ultimate Universe. But secondly,
yes,
it is, I feel, a great new entry point for people who want to dive into Marvel Comics and check it out, but don't really know where to start. Well, everything's just starting on the ground floor.
Well, it's kind of like why they did the Ultimate Universe in the first place.
Great new jumping on point. All the heroes that you know are familiar enough that you'll recognize them, but they all have their own unique and different backstories now with the Ultimate Universe that will keep you on your toes and keep you guessing on what's actually going to happen next.
Let's put chat up on the screen. I'm sorry, chat. You're not here with us, but I'm going to bring you up here, and I can see you, and also we'll
You okay? You gonna last?
I had some tea that's sleepy time tea, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's making me sleepy. But I'm fighting the sleeps. I shouldn't have had this tea so early. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot how powerful it is. I don't know, it's Mother's Little Helper from David's Tea. It's really good. Antonio says hi. Amusing Streamer says hello. Hello, Amusing Streamer. Tevi says hello. How do you feel about Krakoa Age coming to an end? Yeah, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. But everything has to have an ending, right? It all has to come to an end eventually. Tevi says, well, considering the main Amazing Spider-Man book has been garbage as of late, Ultimate Spider-Man has been a breath of fresh air. No comment. We were just talking about that actually earlier today. Sorry friends, I'm just trying to post really quick to let people know that I'm online, but I promise that I will be more present. Talking comics live now on Twitch. Okay. I can't hear the music, so I don't even know. Probably did not go with it at all. That's the one thing I always feel weird about when we have music in the background. If I can't hear it, I feel like I'm so disconnected. I feel like I speak rhythmically. Okay, so...
Don't mind me, everyone. I was just skimming Ultimate X-Men just to...
Oh, you were skimming it?
Get a good idea.
I thought you already looked at it.
I gave it a skim before, but I'm...
Giving it a skim again.
To refresh my memory.
Oh, everyone's chatting. Okay, so let's go over to Twitch for a second here.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome.
Hello David. Hello Dante. Hello Rapala.
Finally got everything up and running.
Hello. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't put my schedule up on Discord, I don't think yet. But my schedule was up on Twitch.
And you got new Monday streams coming in.
Yeah, we stream every other Wednesday. So if we didn't stream the previous Wednesday, we'll probably be streaming. We didn't, so that's how you know it's time for us to stream. We do comic chats every other week. Maybe we'll move to every week. Who knows what the future holds?
I mean, I have fun just talking
I
comics.
have fun just talking comics.
Chatting.
It's nice. I feel like we get to hear about what everybody's reading, what everybody's thinking. I don't know if the closed captions are working.
I get to sit on this very tiny chair.
That is true. Oh, they are working. Yay!
Hey, there they go.
They're not capturing everything, but hey, they're there.
If I were to recommend any of the Ultimate series right now to everybody, Ultimate Spider-Man is amazing. If you want to see
You're really liking Ultimate Spider-Man.
Peter Parker actually happy
For once.
in
his life. His
And
miserable life.
it's actually a really fun, enjoyable
Where should I
comic
put chat? Here between us?
where you have the Parker family. Without spoiling anything, this is really just check it out. The Parker family and all their trials and tribulations. How they're dealing with life, I guess, on this new universe. That is, again, very familiar, but with twists and turns that change things up a bit. It's such a delight to read happy Peter Parker for once. And yeah, Peter Parker happy. Stan is rolling. He is generating multiple cities with the amount of spins he's doing right now in his grave.
What?
But you know what?
Oh, for Peter being happy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did Stan not want Peter to be happy? Was he like anti-Peter being happy?
I mean, I just feel like that's moral editorial in general. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Parker can never be happy for elongated periods of time.
I mean, I feel like no one can ever be happy for elongated periods of time. Is pretty much
It's comics.
superhero comics. I don't know. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm assuming you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if I'm not loud enough or we need to adjust this.
Hello, Critter Nation.
I'll listen to y'all. So many people are chatting right now. I'm having difficulty.
Tevye says, speaking of Spider-Man, that reminds me, any opinion on Gang War and its ending? Because for me, I found this event to be a complete waste of time and not great. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Just in the sense that it was a waste of time. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I never read it, but I just saw the covers.
To say it's,
that was enough for me.
I just want to say it's not great.
Although I did get Spider-Woman,
might
so
be giving it too much credit because I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't look good.
JR can do good work. I've seen him do good work. John Romita Jr. For those who don't know,
all of this Wells run has been a waste of time, in my opinion, says Amusing Streamer.
The story wasn't great. The characterizations weren't good. Spider-Man ended up face down on the ground, getting his ass beat once again during this run, which is always amazing to see. Your title character at the bottom, but it's not good.
Also, Mortis is asking to see my orange plushie. Which orange plushie do you want to see, Mortis? Foxy?
Yeah, Foxy
Or are you looking for Thundershade? Over there. This big guy. This big chonk.
Or Puchita.
Or Puchita, who's very orange. Yeah, which orange plushie? This is Puchita. You're just gonna bring all of them?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This is Foxy. I have a lot of plushes. And I always want more. And this is Thundershade.
He's a chonk.
It's more red, but he does look orange on this camera. And Foxy is also more red.
This is everyone.
I would say Puchita is the only true orange guy that we have here. But that's everybody.
Put him back on his perch, his domain.
Yeah. I personally feel like Spider-Man... So I feel like Zeb's Spider-Man initially started good because I liked Beyond.
I liked Spider-Man Beyond as well because
I thought it was fun.
I'm also a sucker for Ben Reilly.
But the wheels kind of fell off near the end. Basically when they were like, oh, by the way, like now Ben Reilly's gonna like
go crazy again. Okay, so
Ben Reilly has holes in his brain.
this was a
But
this was an issue for me, definitely. And
you know what I really liked? The horror issue that we got, which was who's the guy that does
Mysterio,
Miles
Craven,
Morales?
Oh my goodness. Yes, that was a really good issue in that run.
I want to say Salim Ahmed. Is that right?
Saladin Ahmed.
Saladin Ahmed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you need more tea?
I
might get us more tea.
Okay.
Woke Dragon says Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
Yes, I do a Chainsaw Man.
Also, if anyone's into manga, new issue of Chainsaw Man just dropped. What day is it today? Wednesday? Yesterday. So read new Chainsaw Man. It's great.
Is it really good? I haven't read any Chainsaw Man. I've only seen the anime, so.
I'm reading it every week it comes out, except for when the
I'm an
bi-weekly
anime girl.
devil comes rearing its ugly head, and I gotta wait 2 weeks or more. But lately it's been good.
Amusing Streamer says, all I can remember is that in Dark Web X-Men, they literally fixed the issue for Maddie, but didn't for Ben.
Yeah!
It just broke my brain.
We both had an issue
The fact
with
that they even needed to fix the issue for Maddie was a whole other issue that I had with Dark Web.
We both read that issue at the same time, and then we both, like, convened afterwards, and we're like, wasn't it really weird how they fixed Maddie's issue?
For Maddie, but not for Ben?
And then when Ben was like, hey, can you guys help me? They're like,
no.
Sorry, man. So essentially, just to catch everyone up who didn't read this storyline, just so you know, both Madeline Pryor and Ben Reilly team up because they're both clones and they feel like they're missing out on their lives and they want to take the lives of Jean Grey and Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and basically replace them, in a sense.
Yeah, well, Maddie wants the memories of baby Christopher / Nathan
AKA Cable,
/
who is her
Cable.
biological son.
Yeah, and then they resolve it by her literally saying that to Jean while they're having a fight, and then Jean's like, oh, I would just give that to you.
Yeah. And
she's like, oh, we didn't have to fight? And it's like, no.
And same with Ben Reilly, is that following the events of Beyond that we were mentioning earlier.
No, but also the thing with Maddie that was upsetting, sorry, before we talk about Ben, is that the fact that if you read New Mutants, like, all of this seemed like it was already resolved. So if you were reading New Mutants, like, Maddie had taken over Limbo for Magic, and I hadn't been following New Mutants closely, but when Maddie was there, and then Duck was like, oh, Maddie is in New Mutants right now, like, you might want to check it out. I read, like, the few issues that she was in, and I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, clearly she's turning over a new leaf. She's going to be the ruler of Limbo. She's going to take that over for Magic, who, like, obviously it's kind of a traumatic thing anyways for Magic. And that's kind of cool. And, like, be, like, a badass in Limbo. And then she was like, I'm good, actually.
But then immediately all thrown away.
Hard shift.
And so Ben, after the events of Beyond, loses pieces of his memory, a bunch of, like, really important stuff, things like forgetting why he became a hero in the first place, you know, power and responsibility, all that stuff's gone. So he wants to take it from Peter.
Yeah.
And so the resolution at the end of Dark Web X-Men is that Jean just says, oh, well, I'm a telepath.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take these memories that you want. I'm going to give it to you because they mean so much to you.
Yeah.
And then Ben is like, hey, what about me? And they're like, sorry, man, can't do it. It's like, what?
Why? Why not? Like,
the whole thing just felt weird.
Also, if you have Jean there, couldn't you fix, like, every issue possible with people's minds? Like, I'm sorry.
Amusing Streamer.
Isn't Jean more powerful than the Phoenix Force?
It is sad that Kane is more interesting than Ben at this point. You know what?
Look, I think Kane's always been more interesting than Ben.
If people want good Scarlet Spider stories of, like,
I like
the
both
time, the Kane Scarlet Spider run, I can't remember what year it came out, but that is an amazing series. Really underrated.
Is that the 90s?
No, this is 2000s.
I haven't read this one.
This happened during the same time.
Oh, wait, is this the one where he can talk to spiders?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've read parts of this, but not the entire
This
run.
is during Remender's run on Venom.
Oh, okay.
With Flash Thompson Venom.
Also a good run.
So also an amazing run. So
just a good time.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic series, both of those. Highly recommend. And
the one where he's in Houston is what Danny is asking.
Yes, that's the one where he's in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Because Houston doesn't have a lot of skyscrapers, so it's hard to swing around as a Spider-Man if you don't have things to...
Get creative.
It's just like a fun plot point. It's like he has to figure out how to get around the city.
Whisper to spiders. That's my go-to. Yeah. Critter Nation was asking earlier if we had seen Dune 2, which, yes, Rapala, thank you for pointing out. We do have some videos on YouTube. that I did about Dune 2. Dune Part 2, we did a full review with spoilers, and I also did the reaction right after we came into the theater that has no spoilers.
Shai Hulud.
So, and I also talked about the book because I read the book before I went to go see Part 2 or listen to it.
Larry
also,
the Sandworm.
Michael, Michael is in the chat. Hello, Michael. Thank you again for getting me the Dune Part 2, the Dune novel, the audiobook, so I could listen to it before the movie. I really appreciate that. Wait, did you get me Dune? I think you did. Maybe you didn't. Maybe I got myself Dune. Michael, you get me a lot of things, so I'm just gonna give you that one.
Are you saying that Kane died in Spider-Verse? No, he's been back for a while, actually.
Yeah, Kane's around.
Yeah, he's been in and out. Funnily enough, yeah, he's coming to fight Ben. The last time he showed up that I remember is when he showed up to fight Ben. When Ben went evil post becoming the Jackal and all that. Mm-hmm. It's such a mess.
Did you get us tea?
No. You said you were getting up to get tea. That's
I
waited.
Okay. I thought you got up to get tea.
I said, I'm going to entertain the viewers.
My mind is...
So...
Anyways, we can talk about a bit of Dune, though. Has everyone seen Dune Part 2? I don't want to get into spoilers if people don't want spoilers, but we can talk in general if people haven't seen it. Let me know in the chat where y'all are at.
I'm just going to go through chat real quick. Yeah, the one where he's in Houston,
Chat's
indeed.
Been active. If you guys, if we miss your chat...
There's a lot of chat going on right now.
There's a lot of chat.
I'm trying to stay on
but also
on topic here and help everybody out.
If you have something specific you want to say, if you super chat on YouTube, it highlights it for us. So
Love Gwen, what's your
FYI.
thoughts on Spider-Gwen and the ASM Gwen who died? I love Spider-Gwen. I've loved the design and the character ever since issue 2 of Beyond Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse. I can't remember what the miniseries was called. This one is mine.
This is awkward.
But yeah, I think she's a really cool character with her own like set of rules and universe. But I think it's kind of dumb that right now they're just bringing her to main continuity.
Baby.
Yeah, they're erasing. They're getting rid of that. She's part of Earth 616 now.
Well, that's kind of what happened to Miles, though.
Yeah, for all the good it did him.
Well, doesn't he like it?
I feel like...
I like it.
I feel like...
You don't like it?
Just to go back to what we're talking about with the Ben hate currently
the
in
Ben
editorial.
hate.
The reason why Zeb Wells said that he made Ben Chasm, his new villain persona, was because he said there are too many spider heroes in 616 currently, which I agree with. That is an issue. However...
I disagree.
You think that there's not too many spider-based heroes?
Give me more.
Give you... In terms of spider-based heroes?
I don't think it's a problem.
Ever since they took away Ben as a spider hero,
I don't think they should have taken away Ben.
They've introduced Spider-Gwen now into the 616.
Spider Kid or whatever? Spider Bite? No, that's a different character. That's 2 other characters. Or Spider Bite. There's the one that's in the digital space.
Yes, that's Spider-Bite.
And there's the one that's the sidekick to Peter Parker who has cancer. I think he's also Spider-Bite.
But yeah, they took away
I like
Ben
how
and then
I'm like,
added
there's not
in
too many, and then I'm like,
characters
wait,
again.
who is this one?
Honest thoughts on Madam Web, the worst movie I've ever paid money for.
Yeah, we have multiple videos on that as well over on YouTube if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts.
Spider-Boy, thank you, Tevya. God, what a terrible...
Critter Nation says, it's a beautiful film, but as a book reader, I can't help being disappointed in the characters they cut out from the book. You mean in regards to Dune Part 2? Yeah, I mean, did they cut out a lot of characters? They cut out some characters. I mean, I was talking about who bothered me. Oh, we were talking about the Mentat.
Yep.
What's the Mentat's name?
I can't remember.
Can't remember off the top of my head, but that bothered me.
Well, I mean,
but that's also because it's like connected to like Fade's character development as well, which was also a whole
There was
thing,
the removal of him. There's.
But I think it works for what they're doing, you know,
the removal. I mean, without spoilers. If you know, you know. The removal of the kids.
Yeah. Well, but that's like a whole issue with the time skip thing, which I think they're removed.
But I'm saying that's still characters removed.
But that has to do with the flow of the film. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating.
Duck, so you saw Morbius for free? Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we watched Morbius on Prime.
Yep.
Because we missed it when it came to, and then we missed it when it came back to the theaters.
What a terrible, terrible time.
I wish I had been able to see it in the theaters.
What a terrible time to have eyes.
Oh my gosh. You really didn't like it, though.
I despise that movie. I try not to swear on the stream, but it looks like shit. It does. Those effects?
Yeah, I mean, the effects are rough. But what do you like better? If you had to watch...
I would rather...
Okay,
I would watch Morbius in a heartbeat.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
If you tried to drag me back into a theater to watch Madam Web...
Yeah, you'd rather watch Morbius.
I would swear off all comic media for the rest of my life.
It's so bad.
Absolutely not. It's that
I'd swear
bad.
off films for the rest of my life. So Madam Web is the worst. And then between Morbius and Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
That was also terrible.
Which one's worse?
I mean, Venom, Let There Be Carnage at least is like Michael Bay Transformers level of like messy. So I can just look at things like blades and teeth spinning everywhere and just doing stuff and be like, huh, you know, like symbiote go boom, and then, you know, laugh and eat my popcorn. The biggest sin that Morbius and Madam Web commit are that they're both extremely boring. And I could care less about anything they're trying to say.
Wow. I don't know if Morbius is extremely boring.
Remember when they hired...
Look, Matt Smith has a whole dance scene in a bathroom. How can you call that boring?
Remember when they hired Matt Smith to dance and say cringe lines and walk around with a cane?
He cashed that check.
And then do nothing.
He
cashed
that
check.
He was like, I'm taking that check to the bank.
See, Woke Drag is with me. Venom 2 was not good. Yeah.
No, yeah. I didn't say that Venom 2 was good. I'm saying that I think Morbius is better than Venom 2. That's my hot take.
Venom 2 was more so, in my opinion, a case of missed opportunity.
Michael says, I also saw Morbius for free and felt robbed.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Madam Web. You're not missing anything, Michael. Don't see it. Don't see it.
I mean, I'd say if you're curious and it comes to streaming or you have a chance to watch it for free, do that. But I would never give that movie money. Or I have, but I wouldn't recommend others to give it money. Hey, Peter, how's it going?
Morbius and Matt Smith have a secret love arc. Yes, Jon Snow. Yes. Yes. Jon Snow, have you watched my Morbius review? Be honest. I did a Morbius review before I was posting consistently on my YouTube channel. That was like one of the first videos that I did. And I talked about this. About the fact that they definitely have... What was his name in the movie?
Hold on.
It was not his nickname.
I'm going on.
But that's what Morbius calls him. But yeah, their characters definitely. They're actually, you know, the chemistry between the two actors was like one of my favorite things about it. Milo, that was his nickname. Daniel, thank you so much for resubscribing with Prime. With all the content you put out, Red, it feels so much longer. Thank you so much for all the joy you've brought to my life. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for 5 months. Appreciate you, Daniel. That's so kind of you. For a second, I thought you were saying it feels so much longer since I've seen you, like, because I wasn't on stream on Monday, which, yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I am better. I had a really bad migraine that was, like a 2.5-day migraine. It, like, destroyed me.
I saw Azorius Preacher said
now.
that Madam Web was also a missed opportunity, and to be fair, anything that gets this far to have a film made, scripted, designed, filmed, shot, brought to theaters, is you're correct, a missed opportunity. This should have been a good film.
Yeah.
But the way that it was constructed, it feels like the producers or whoever was involved didn't care. They just wanted to cash a check and then get out. And that's probably what upsets me the most about it is, yeah, you can have a terrible film. There's going to be terrible films till the end of time. But it's just the lack of care and the lack of giving a shit that, like, really bugs me. So, yeah, I agree.
Oh, this isn't what I wanted to do. Yeah, I mean, the lack of care in which? In which?
Madam Web.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what they were trying to do with that movie. Like, that's the thing that really kills me.
It was a cash grab. They had the rights to Spider-Man stuff. So they're trying to, like, just cash in on the Spider-Man license that they still have.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, but people were saying that they also needed to, like, make a movie to, like, hold on to the license, but I don't really believe that.
Yeah, they're still making Spider-Man stuff. I don't think they needed to make Madam Web.
No, I don't think they needed to make Madam Web.
They just want...
I think they were just like, I don't know, what do people like? Ladies that are spider women? What about Madam Web?
Madam is a dead term used to describe a female pimp. I mean, to be fair, if you go back to when her... Yeah, Madam.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
But
that's one of the ways you could use it.
Yeah. But that just made me think that back in those classic Spider-Man comics, when Madam Web does first show up, she's definitely whoring out Spider-Man to do her bidding. She's like, I see this thing. You need to go get my groceries. And he's like, but will this save Mary Jane? Yes.
She's like, yeah, get me my groceries, Peter. Interesting. Rapala says Kraven is going to be bad too.
Here's the thing. Funnily enough, I still have hope for it. Not to be a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I think this is going to be fun bad. I think Kraven is at the very least going to be fun bad.
Oh my gosh, Azorius Preacher says the director said in an interview that he was happy to do this film because Madam Web had no backstory. I'm sorry, what?
How many hours did you put into doing your Madam Web origin video? No backstory, none.
No backstory. She has no backstory. How many hours did I put into doing those shorts that we still haven't released and may never release on the channel? Me trying to summarize everybody's backstories in like 1 minute.
Could be done.
Do you guys want these Madam Web shorts? They're so important for understanding the characters that no one cared about in the movie.
I think...
Let me know. I worked really hard on them. We filmed them, but we haven't edited them.
Welcome to the chat, 69 poop feast.
Hello.
Sorry,
Feast, what's up?
Took me by surprise.
Oh my gosh. Rapala says post them. I need them in my life. Okay, maybe we'll post them.
I'll do some.
You have them.
I'll edit them. I'll do something about it. Kraven is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I know, and it's gonna be a shame if this movie isn't at least somewhat watchable.
I think it could be watchable though. Like, I don't think it's gonna be the worst. PJ Fry, hello.
At least it has Aaron Taylor Johnson in it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking Aaron Taylor Johnson might save it.
He cares.
He cares. I think he'll care. Yeah. Will it be enough to save the movie? I don't know. Also, what's happening with these animal powers? Tell me about that.
Oh, you drink the blood of a lion, you talk to animals. Let's go. I'm here for it.
Unless it is like everyone says and it's going to be like the potion, because people have said that.
All right.
Let's talk about this, because I want to talk about this. But also, we'll still talk about what y'all want to talk about. We can definitely talk about more.
And yeah, Azorius, I completely agree. All those characters are great, and they all got the worst
what was the thing that Bob Iger was saying? Where were you reading that? Was that today? That came out?
This week for sure.
This week. Bob Iger was saying that people don't have like superhero fatigue. It's just that like the movies have been like basically subpar, and that's why people are tired of superheroes right now. It's not the superheroes they're tired of. It's the movies. And I was like, I don't know about that. I think a lot of people are tired of the superhero stuff, but it's people that I think are realizing that it's cyclical, which is something that when you're really deep into the superhero lifestyle, what does that even mean? When you're really deep into just superhero stories, you already notice the cyclical nature. Oh, will you get me more tea?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm grabbing water.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, could I also have some water?
Give me the tea.
Okay. Thank you. But yeah, so I think but anyways, tell me what you think about that. Also, I'm going to show you this. I did not adjust my camera though before. I don't know where this camera's going to be. Pardon?
Said nope.
Nope. Yeah, I want to hear people's thoughts on that, so I'll be coming to the chat in a second. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Careful, watch
Whoa. Also, this keyboard's like way too over here. Oh
the
shoot.
paper. Almost killed my teacup.
I didn't do it. I would never. I'm not clumsy, not even in the slightest. No one saw anything. Okay. Oh, hey, my face is still here. Yeah, so this is, the comic. This is Ultimate X-Men. I just love, you know what I really love? I just really love the visuals in Peach Momoko. And I was also just talking about, like, you know what I really like about Peach Momoko? I don't have to, like, read as much. And obviously, you know me, I'm not saying this because I don't like to read a lot. I like reading dense things. But it's just nice sometimes to have a break and to have, like, the visuals be doing a lot of the storytelling. I mean, there's still text in this and everything. I'm not saying there's no text.
You should skip to the middle.
That's where I just was. At the open.
You're at that? Oh.
Yeah. The armor. Armor getting her armor. Yeah.
Like, that's such an awesome...
It's so awesome.
Double-page
I think
thread.
someone was saying earlier that this just doesn't feel like X-Men at all. And to that I would say, I would recommend... I don't know... I forget who was saying that. I'm so sorry. But Tevya, I think you were saying it. And I would just say, Tevya, have you read... Oh, I should also take my rules off. This was from our last stream. Have you read Demon Days by Peach Momoko? Because that is an experience. Also, you know what I also love? At the end of Momoko's stuff, there's always, like, this little bit of, like, lore. Usually. There's, like, a little bit of...
The little lore page?
Yeah, the little lore page. I love the little lore page. I don't think there's anything I'm revealing on that last page, so don't worry. I don't think I spoiled anything for people. Anyways. I just wanted to share. I'm really loving Ultimate X-Men. I knew I was going to love it, and then I read it, and then I did love it, and here we are today. And I'm very curious to see where the heck it's going. I have no idea where it's going.
Yeah, I was going to say to Tevya...
But I'm buckled in for the ride.
I'd say it's like a little confusing. Is, you know what? I think just hop on and go for the ride, because for me, I've been reading comics for a long time. And you do see these cyclical things happen over and over again. Like, eventually with X-Men post-Krakoa, we had this whole Krakoa thing. We're going to be going back to the school eventually, all this stuff. This, I have no idea what's going to happen. And I love that about it.
Ooh, Daniel's asking, is that Shadow King in Ultimate X? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know who anyone is. I mean, I know this is armor on the cover, right? Like, that's pretty clear. We know that's armor. But... my favorite thing about Momoko is that Momoko does this thing where she'll kind of, like, adapt.
It is very Shadow King, though.
It is very Shadow King. I was trying to think about who it could be, and definitely could be some Shadow King vibes. Messing with her head as well, kind of in the issue. But the thing that I really love is that with Momoko, it's, like, all of these Marvel characters that are adapted, but... even when people are like, oh, like, that's, like, Black Widow, and, like, that's this person. Like, Momoko says, like, people will guess all the time, and she'll be like, oh, that isn't even, like, who that is. But interesting that you got that. So it's, like, they're adaptations, but they're in a way that makes you kind of guess, like, who is this inspired by? Or is this, like, someone that's new? Or... and a lot of them are inspired by people. I would just say, if you aren't sure about Ultimate X-Men... go back and read Demon Days, because it's really amazing. I have my Demon Days book, but it's not with me. It's at work. And I have all the issues as well. But I also bought the big, like, art version of it. It's, like, this tall. It's, like, gorgeous.
Yeah, also to the storytelling aspect of it. I feel like...
it's very different, but that's what I like about it.
Well, I like that we don't know that much about it right now. Because if we were given all the answers, like, right away, straight up... again, this is, like, my personal opinion. Like, it keeps me thinking. It keeps me wondering, like, what could be next. I mean, hypothetically, this could end up being absolute trash. The whole story makes no sense. Why are they doing this? But right now, at the very least, it's a great issue 1 opener because I'm thinking about it. I'm coming up with theories in my head. I'm wondering, who these characters are going to be. Where is the story going to go? Why is this called X-Men to even begin with?
Oh, Danny is asking, hey, super quick, do you know what time you're going live on Saturday? For obvious reasons, I don't want to miss that stream. I'm planning on going live. I usually plan on going live at noon.
So aim for 1:30. That's probably when Amanda will go live.
I mean, that's fair. Let me see. Where am I looking for?
I think it was Imprint Jones who was talking about the animated series with Armor in it. If you like Armor as well, like Jason Aaron's Wolverine and the X-Men does a great job of establishing Armor as like an awesome badass in that as well. I believe it's Wolverine and the X-Men.
The next on Saturday though, I'm gonna be playing Guardians of the Galaxy for Daniel, and then on Sunday I'm gonna be doing the horror stream. Just FYI, Danny, that'll be on Sunday.
I see people talking about the Legion TV series. I've heard great things about it. Unfortunately,
I don't know what that is.
Seen it.
What is the Legion TV series?
Legion?
Yeah.
Like the mutant Legion?
Legion has a TV series?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Years ago.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's all on Disney Plus.
What, on Disney Plus?
Yeah, look up. Just go on thing.
I've never heard of this.
I'll
How have I never heard of this? What are you guys talking about?
They have a whole arc with the Shadow King.
What?
Yeah, it's great.
It's live action?
Yeah.
We need to watch this. This looks cool. This is weird.
I've used this guy in thumbnails before.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen him in thumbnails. I did not know that this was from that.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Legion was really good. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm doing this weekend. Watching some Legion. Yeah, Peter, we're gonna do some Guardians. I figured you'd like that, Peter Quill. As requested by Daniel.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah,
the third-person
the video game. That's what I'm gonna be doing on Saturday.
Nice.
Because that was a game request in stream. But yeah, I mean, people are saying that Momoko makes it difficult to understand. Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's not always easy, but that's what I like about it. Because honestly, if I could understand it, I mean, it's kind of like what you said. I already have done that like a million times.
And again,
so it's just like refreshing.
There's so many comics out there.
And you can read main X-Men, right? Like this is not replacing the X-Men. This is just
exactly
an alternate story.
You have so many alternatives for X-Men right now. I think right now
I think with Ultimate, it's kind of nice when things are like completely weird.
That's when I love Ultimate the most, is when things are
they're like
different.
So weird, and you're like, why is this like this? Why does Mr. Sinister have tattoos?
I was gonna say, yeah, if you wanted a series, an X-Men series that was a team of alternate universe Wolverines,
that exists.
That just came out this week.
Yep.
So
that exists.
All right. So what else we got here?
Yeah. What else do we got? Pull something else out of the bag. You pull one now. Yeah, a lot of people are saying Legion is great, so apparently I need to watch Legion. Daniel says, oh, Red, you have to watch Legion. Okay, well, all right, noted. When did this come out? How old is it? How many years ago did this happen?
You remember when the...
Sorry, I hit the mic.
The Polaris show came out?
There's a Polaris show?
Yeah.
I don't know about that either. What are you talking about?
Where have you been?
What are you guys talking about? What do you mean? Are you kidding? Polaris show? I've never heard of that. Polaris show. Disney Plus?
Polaris Marvel live action. Live action Polaris.
Is this The Gifted?
Yes, The Gifted.
Oh, I didn't watch The Gifted. So if it's anything related, I know Polaris is in The Gifted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know about that. I've never watched The Gifted.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I've never watched The Gifted. I honestly was like, I don't know if I need to watch The Gifted based on what I've seen of it. But if y'all say it's good, I'll check it out. It just didn't really, like, capture me. I feel like I would have liked it more, like, 8 years ago.
Oh, there we go.
Does that make sense? Did it come out 8 years ago, though? Because then maybe I would have loved it.
Thanking Musing Streamer 7 years ago.
7 years ago. It does seem like a 7 years ago show, and I probably would have liked it at that time. But I think I found out about it, like, after. Because wasn't that around the time, was Heroes still happening?
Oh, God, no. I think Heroes was way before
Heroes was way before that? Okay, like, I watched some of Heroes.
The Zuri's Creatures that Gifted suck. We got a
I also haven't watched Runaways either.
I never watched the Runaways.
Oh,
either.
some people are saying Gifted is great, and some people are saying Gifted sucks. So it's a battle over Gifted.
Heroes was 2000s.
Legion was
yeah,
far,
that's what I
far.
thought.
Yeah, Legion looks interesting to me. Gifted, I don't know if I'd like.
Heroes was definitely like 2007, I think.
So when did Legion come out around the same time?
Legion came out 2017. If that's what people are saying. Aubrey Plaza. Yes, I saw that. I saw those scenes in Legion with Aubrey Plaza. I really liked that. I thought that was cool.
What order are those supposed to go in? Okay, I'm gonna let you do that. Sorry, we're also just talking to. Sorry, let me just here.
Don't
I'm sorry, I just switching in the chats. Sorry, we're just talking to an editor right now. I got an Avatar review coming for you. Avatar the live action series. Yeah, you want to look at Void Rivals? We can do that. Gen X was so disappointing. The comic or the show?
They were talking about the show in chat.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I feel like the Gen X comic's pretty good.
Right. So, I mean, I've talked about this before on here for sure, but
You guys don't know about this.
Void Rivals.
This never works. I have to like turn it on every time. You can get in the little box if you want, or you can be half in it.
There I am. Sorry, I was looking at Void Rivals. Void Rivals is part of the new Energon universe, which is Transformers, G.I. Joe, and this comic, Void Rivals, and it is, if you like sci-fi, it is a sci-fi delight. Go up into space. You got these two warring Earths, or
it's super interesting.
warring planets. You got the triangle people and you got the square people, and they're fighting each other because they think that each side hates each other. But
yeah,
turns out they got a lot more in common than they think.
a lot more.
And it's up to two representatives, I guess of like each planet.
I don't know how far
to try and unite
it's
them.
safe for me. I've only read the first few issues.
But now,
Ooh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it's and the art by Lorenzo Del Felici. I believe that's how you say. Lorenzo Del Felici.
Lorenzo De Felici, I think.
Awesome. So good, and it's written by Robert Kirkman. So love him or hate him. Writer of The Walking Dead, Invincible.
Some people love him, some people not so much.
Yep, completely get it. But you know what? I'm loving this so far.
Cool.
And it's just been really, it's a fun comic. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think what I like about it is that it feels like it's doing something that's like really adding to the universe. So that's what I like about it. I gotta update my sub goal, I think, because we did get that resub, so count that. I do have, if we reach sub goal today.
You gotta open that anyway, don't you?
Well, I can do. Oh yeah, I do have to open this one. I gotta open this secret layer at the end of stream. So if you guys also want me to open, because I forgot to open this last time I streamed because we made goal. But I also have this Brothers War collector booster. If you guys want me to open this, if we reach sub or member goal, I will do that. Daniel says, so I'd love a cooking stream, but I know that's a ton of setup work. So if it's too much, you can color. That's fun. Oh, thanks, Daniel. I think I could do a cooking stream. I have a few really cool cookbooks, actually, so maybe I could make something from that. I'm not very good at cooking. I'm better at baking myself, but maybe Duck will join me. Duck is good at cooking. I'm better at baking.
I am the cookist.
I'm the bakest. But yes.
All right, Danny. Well, take care. Have a good night.
Legion is a contender for the best comic book TV show ever. Wow.
I'm including Loki, WandaVision, whatever. Interesting.
Dang. All right, well, see you later, Danny. And also, no Ted. You guys are really making me want to watch Legion now and making me wonder. So it came out 7-ish years ago? Yeah. Like, that's how old it is? How did I not know about this? Hi, Ken. How's it going? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Welcome on into the chat. Oh, this is Spider-Punk. Oh, yeah, I got Spider-Punk today, guys. I really love Spider-Punk. Actually one of my favorite alternate Spider people, so when he was in Across the Spider-Verse, I was like really excited about that. Yeah, I really like Hobby. Also just like in general, like even in like the main continuity.
Isn't it Hobie?
Oh yeah, Hobie. Sorry, I've been saying it Hobby my whole life, and then I found out in Across the Spider-Verse I was saying it wrong and it's supposed to be Hobie. And Brown. I was like, Hobie? But I guess his name would be Hobart, right? Well, I would have said Hobbart.
No.
So Hobby still is how I would have said it. But I guess because he's British? I don't know. But anyways, Hobie. I'm never going to get over it. So this is that comic that we got today. I really love this cover too. This is the standard cover. Doesn't come out as much because I need like a better lighting setup for when I'm doing comics things. That's something we gotta work on, but just the colors on this cover.
There's a light a-coming.
Which light?
For that setup.
What? I mean, I have a light right here, but it's just then we get glare.
I know, I'm just saying, I have a light coming for a side light.
A side light?
So it doesn't glare.
What? Okay. I didn't know that. I mean, this isn't too bad.
I keep moving out of the box.
Lean into the box. So I haven't even looked at this yet.
Peter
but,
says, what do you mean by you spider people?
You spider people. I just really like Spider-Punk a lot. Been one of my favorites for a while. Hobie Brown, Spider-Punk.
Hobie 1.
Kamala
Says Michael.
Khan, Ms. Marvel. Matea Murdock, Daredevil. Oh, cool. So we're going to Hobie's reality. I'm getting to see more stuff there.
Punk America?
Riot Heart.
Captain Anarchy. Okay.
Captain Anarchy. Sick. Sick. Yeah, I feel like we also haven't gotten, like, a Spider-Punk story in some time. Although it also kind of looks like they're doing something different because... So here's the thing. My understanding was, but correct me if I'm wrong, that Spider-Punk was just, like, from America. Like, he was an American punk. Has he always been a British punk?
That's where punk comes from.
Well, yeah, but when he's fighting Norman Osborn, I just thought that was in America.
No, he's British.
Oh, so Norman's also British in that version, I guess?
Yeah, the alternate universe.
Oh, okay. I guess I just assumed he was American because the original...
Did you assume country?
Yes,
Unbelievable.
I assumed his nationality. How dare I? How dare I? I really like the art in this already. The art looks so good. Look at this. Look at this face.
Yeah.
He's doing this art.
Yeah, when he takes the mask off and he's like, I always was this cool.
I was always this cool.
Yeah.
Cody Ziegler is doing writing. Justin Mason is doing the art. Joyful Justin Mason. Mighty Maury Hollowell doing colors.
Thunderous Travis
BC's
Lanham.
Thunderous Travis Lanham doing letters. Travis Lanham does a lot of letters for Marvel. Also, I pay way too much attention to who does letters.
And well, it's good to appreciate people's good work. So a lot of work goes into making comics.
Remember that time that there was a letterer for a comic and I heard the comic was ending? I'm not going to say what comic because I don't want to, like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, cause drama. I mean, it happened a while ago. But there was a comic that was ending. Anyways, I heard it was ending. And I was like, oh no, I'm so sad this comic is ending. And then I, like, added the whole team. And then she was like, what? I didn't even know. I was like, oh no. Sorry, I'm the one.
Breaking the news.
Because I always, I try to always tag if I'm like hyping a comic or talking about something. If there's a letterer online, if I know their socials, then I always tag the letterers too. Because they're a very important part of comics.
Zoria says, I think in that universe, America and most of the British colonies never got independence. Interesting.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. So, like, is everywhere British? Is that what you're saying? Like, we're all British.
Everyone's England.
In Spider-Punk reality. I like that idea. Spider-Punk got some great art. Yeah, apparently I broke the news to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a terrible way to find that out. I mean, I'm sure she's fine. I feel like I've seen her on other books and stuff, so. Letterers, I feel like they do a lot of books, but I shouldn't say that. I don't really know. I would love to interview a letterer. If you're watching this at some point and you do letters for anyone or you ever want to talk about letters, I'd love to learn more about it because I just find it so interesting and letters really do shape like the whole narrative, if that makes sense. So yeah.
I'm just reading the quick The Wikipedia? Oh my god. The
Ah, yes,
Wikipedia.
read me the Wikipedia. Oh, for the reality? Or for the summary for the comic? Oh yeah, Duke. We also got Duke. Daniel says, I know I'm hugely in the minority on this, but I can't stand all the spider variants. It feels like it diminishes Spider-Man, who I've loved for 52 years.
See, that's what I was saying earlier, but I feel like
you're not in the minority. I think actually the people that like a million spider variants, I think we're the minority.
I don't mind variants in general as long as they're not all in the same world talking to each other all the time. Like when Spider-Verse initially happened, I thought that was a great event. I thought it was a love letter to all things Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse, pun intended, and all its iterations. But then when they keep doing it, and it keeps happening, it kind of cheapens the value of all of them. If that makes sense. Like, I love Hobie. And I think that this series, because it's on his planet, it's doing its own thing, telling its own story, I think that's great. I think it's a really
So you just
good
don't like
comic.
all the Spider-Verse stuff when it's too much Spider-Verse stuff.
Yes.
Like you're like, one Spider-Verse thing is really cool.
Well, the whole point of
Five
Spider-Verse...
Spider-Verse things, not as cool.
The whole point of Spider-Verse when it initially happened was it was a threat that was so big that it took all of the spider people
And it was the first time
to get together
in comics that we were putting all of the spider people that had ever existed ever
Yes.
in one.
And so it made it feel
story.
big. But then it happened
Yeah.
again. It's like, there's an even bigger threat. We need even more spider people. I was like, really? I thought we already saw everyone. There's more? Why didn't you recruit these people before? And then
Where'd
now
they
there's-
come from?
Now there's another one that's coming out. And it's like, yeah, here we go again. And I was like,
Well, it's
I don't
done now
care.
because end of the Spider-Verse, but
Yeah.
for now. Until we have Dawn of the
I
Spider-Verse
just,
2.
yeah, like, that's when I stopped to care. But I think individually, all of them by themselves
Are cool.
Cool stories that are cool characters that have cool stories to tell. But yeah, when they're all together all the time.
You know what's one that stuck with me, but I think she's dead now, was the magical girl, Venom girl.
Oh, she's dead.
Oh yeah, well that's because it was Venomverse. Sorry. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
if you want a depressing read Venomverse, where
Don't.
they introduce a bunch of cool characters
Don't
and then
read
kill
it.
them off for no reason.
don't do it. Just read the stories where they introduce them and then pretend they're still alive.
What's
She was really cool.
What's the male Mary
Who
Sue?
made her? Was
is
that
it-
Momoko
is it
or was that someone else?
Is it Marty Stew?
Venom magical girl. Marty Stew?
No, the Momoko Venom was
There she
the
is.
Earth one.
Who's this one? Who made this one? I love this one.
Yeah, that's in the same issue as the Momoko one, I think. Yes, it is.
This one? Necroco? Is that her name?
Yep.
Yeah, there she is. Created by Alyssa Wong and Ken Nimura. I love her. She's so cool.
Yep.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was Momoko's art.
No.
But it was in the same story that Momoko had a Venom story.
Yes.
And I own that one because I got the cover because Momoko did the cover.
the
And that's
Momoko
when I
cover,
read
yes.
this. And I was like, oh my god, I love this.
Yeah, Michael, I enjoyed the crossover, but yeah, when you overstay your welcome and like you just keep trying to ride that high, that's when you get.
Extreme Venomverse.
That's it.
That's what
that's
the
when you
series
get
is
the
called.
Clone Saga. And
But
then
don't
all
read-
good things just get diluted.
So you can read Extreme Venomverse, but don't read
Death of the Venomverse.
whatever it was. End of the
Whatever.
Venomverse? Don't read that. Whatever you do. I read one issue of it because I bought a cover and
But yeah,
it
what's the
killed my brain.
what's the male version of Mary Sue? Is it Marty Stew? Because that's
Marty Stew?
That's what Carnage is in that series. It just shows up and they're like, Carnage, we found your weakness. And he's like, well, I ate this thing. That means it's not my weakness anymore. It's your weakness. And
Daniel
then he
has
just
redeemed a
kills everyone.
hydrate. I don't have any water. I'll just sip my tea. It's herbal, so it's hydrating. Daniel has also redeemed a stretch.
A stretch and a posture check.
Oh, thank you. Dante is asking, how's the coolest duck in town?
Doing good. I was sleepy before, but stream has definitely perked me up.
Has it perked you
We
up?
have so many people in stream for this.
I
Comic-Con.
know. We're just chilling, too. Imprint Jones says, variants are cool until there is no legacy to actually hang the mantis on. That is true.
Who said
I'm
that?
using... that was Imprint Jones. I'm using Streamer says, I hope Ewing fixes it.
Yep. I hate the Carnage storyline.
I mean,
I
who
feel,
wrote that? Wasn't it someone that wrote, though, like that whole Venomverse thing that we're like, how did this person write this?
Yeah, you looked
someone
it up.
that we liked. And we were like, what happened here?
I feel like this whole thing, like most Carnage,
I think this was like forced. I think someone had like guns to people's heads.
There's been way too much carnage happening
End
for
of the
it to be
Venomverse.
just like everyone in the Marvel studio just being like, we need to write more Carnage.
Oh yeah, it was Cullen Bunn.
Yeah, Bunn wrote that.
And we were like, we like Cullen Bunn. I don't know.
How are the Vamp Ducks? Still working on it. We need to make that
The
merch.
Vamp Ducks. Yeah, we do need to make that merch. Cullen Bunn. Wasn't there something else that I read by Cullen Bunn recently too that I was like, Oh, it was Nightwalkers. I finished Nightwalkers recently. I think that was also
That
Cullen
was the
Bunn.
one that you were like, I don't know.
And I was
what
like,
this...
I don't know what to make of this. Nightwalkers was...
Oh my god, yeah, music streamer got it. This is Cullen Bunn, I believe.
Yeah, Cullen Bunn. Yeah, it's Cullen Bunn. And I like Cullen Bunn normally. He's written a lot of Venom. Yeah, I know. And he's written some pretty good, like, he wrote the Absolute Carnage. Absolute... Is that what it's called?
No, Absolute Carnage was Kate's.
No, but he also wrote for that event.
Oh, probably.
The Absolute Carnage
Everyone wrote
event. Cullen Bunn wrote some stuff for that, and it was really good.
He also wrote the end of the Flash Thompson run, which I thought I really enjoyed as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
He venomized a
I
car
think they
and
made
ate
him
somebody.
do it. I'm convinced.
No, it's...
I don't know.
Like how when...
I mean, though, to be fair, well,
Yeah,
no.
see, yeah, he wrote after Remender left.
It's just, you know what's weird about End of the Venomverse? It's like, no one sounds like themselves. It just is, like, really weird. It's really weird. No one sounds like themselves. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Imprint Jones, that's a lot of things you threw at me, but I agree with all of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, anyways, I don't know. But yeah, I read Nightwalkers, which I believe is also Cullen Bunn. And it was weird. It was a weird story. It's about, like, addiction and vampires.
But if the addicts were right the whole time...
Kind of. I mean, the weird thing is that I just feel like it doesn't really have... Like, what did I say to you when I finished it? Like, I was like, oh yeah, I was just talking about how in the end... Oh, I don't know if I should say this because it kind of spoils the end of the
No
comic.
one's gonna read Nightwalkers.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
I don't know.
Cullen Bunn.
I don't know if people are gonna read Nightwalkers. You know what, though? I think
give
it
me
also might be
Give me an astounding yes or no
source
in
point.
chat if you're gonna seek out Nightwalkers, this obscure
After-
comic, and go read it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to read it because it was vampires and it was Cullen Bunn and it looked really good. And the art is good. Oh my gosh, there's like a million things that just popped up in chat all at once.
Yep.
What's y'all's thoughts of Hellboy?
Thanks,
Okay, we'll
Philosopher
talk
King.
about that
Oh.
in a second. We'll talk about Hellboy in a second.
Speak of which, what's
What's
going on
with
with
Venom right now?
Okay,
Oh, we'll talk
so-
about that in a second because Duck is reading that.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, let me talk about
I was gonna
Nightwalkers.
say, I have thoughts on Venom. so I'm gonna
Nightwalkers,
keep that in my head.
Hellboy, and then we'll talk about Venom. Okay, so Nightwalkers, not that anyone has asked me to talk about this.
And no one will.
I'm doing it anyways. It's a series about vampires, and it basically at the beginning, it's like all these people that are like in a rehab center, and then vampires attack in the middle of the night, and like everyone's gone, and they like have to learn how to survive. And they're also just struggling because they're addicts and they're like in withdrawal, and then they're seeing all these monsters, and then literally the whole world gets overrun and overtaken by vampires. And the whole time you're like, okay, like this is obviously, we're saying stuff about addiction. And then at the end, the person, like I thought the people that were working at the rehab facility were going to maybe be behind it or something.
Yes,
because
Peter,
they just abandoned
Nightwalkers.
them. And then I thought maybe they've died. And then what happens is, like, at the end, the main character, she comes back, and then the guy that was running, like, her counselor, he's there, and he's like, oh, I didn't want to leave you. Like, we voted, and I got, like, outvoted. Like, that was not my idea of what to do. And he's there with other survivors, and he's like, we have to, like, keep moving and just, like, keep our heads down. And she's like, I've killed vampires before now. Let's just do it. Let's set a trap. And he's like, I don't think it's a good idea. And then she's just like, okay, I'm gonna like use you as bait, and basically you'll die. And then it ends, and I was like, what was this about? I was so confused.
Yes, Philosopher King.
Am I dumb?
The whole crux of the comic was, yeah, I got outvoted. Sorry. That's what
and like
everything weighed upon.
I did feel bad for her, like especially at the beginning, but then near the end,
Look at all these stream
they didn't
streaks
make
coming
him.
up. Sorry, I just saw.
Oh my gosh, everyone's
Dante
streaking.
With the 7 stream streak, and Angelus Masta.
Angelus.
An M star?
Angelus.
Angelus is a word.
Angelus.
Angelus is from the darkness, okay? Let me have these things.
No, because we talked about it last time, and Angelus said that I was the only one that says their name right.
I'm used to
So it's like Angel.
I'm used to reading Top Cow comics and
Angelus.
the darkness and the Angelus.
No.
Angelus. You're correct though.
Yeah, I'm correct. Yes, with a 5-stream streak. Streaking on through over on Twitch. But yeah, so anyways, that's Nightwalkers, and that's my rant, and thanks for coming to my TED Talk, but I don't know. What was that about? I don't know. Am I dumb? I don't know. Am I dumb? That was the other thing I asked myself when I finished it. I said, either this, this is just weird, and it was some cool art, a cool concept that didn't go anywhere, or I'm dumb.
Okay, so if anyone gets confused, feel free to just message in chat and just be like, huh? What? Because I'm about to drop a lot of Venom lore on you.
No, wait, let's talk about Hellboy first.
Hellboy first?
But
okay.
then also, I thought you were going to say, if anyone gets confused in chat, just be like, Nightwalkers, question mark, question mark.
That should be the confused emote.
That's our confused emote,
it's
yeah.
Just Nightwalkers.
Just vampires that are like, I don't know.
Okay, so what about Hellboy?
Okay, just people were asking about our thoughts on Hellboy.
Okay, so you've only read...
Well, we've read it together.
The first 3 volumes.
Duck and I do this thing that I wanted to find a way to recreate at some point, but I don't know how we do it. Maybe we're talking about maybe doing a podcast where we do it in small amounts. But we'll read comics together where we pick characters and then do different voices. And so we've read Hellboy only that way so far, together. And how far did we get?
Volume 3 or Volume 4. Wait,
I
sorry,
like it.
That just awakened something in me. Philosopher King. Yes. The Wake by Scott Snyder. If you haven't read it, the first half is great. It's about a bunch of scientists. Basically, it's the...
yeah, that sounds like what I'm talking about based on what you said, Philosopher King.
Nightwalkers? No, what's that... oh, God. The Trench? What was that movie with Kristen Stewart that came out where she's underwater and then all, like, the mer people attack?
I haven't seen it.
It's basically that. You got a bunch of scientists in this underwater facility. All of these mer people come out, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's this giant, like, Cthulhu-sized merman.
So the first half is great, and then the second half is...
completely switches gears. There's this lady who swims with a dolphin.
Okay.
The world has been flooded. It gets weird.
And then you're just like, what is the point of this? What are we doing here?
They're fighting the queen on a blimp. Like, I'm not making this up. This is happening.
Oh, yeah, and then there was also that other guy that I said that, like, apparently woke up the vampires, and that's when they came to life.
Why are you still talking about Nightwalkers?
Sorry, because I'm just remembering other details that I was like, what was that about? It didn't go anywhere. There's a guy that, like, woke them up, and then I kept being like, oh, is this gonna go somewhere? And then they were like, well, we've decided we're, like, not going to... Either they kill him, or they're just like, oh, yeah, we're just not gonna deal with you.
Philosopher King. It's underwater.
Yeah, sounds weird.
Like that, but I liked it. It was a cool horror comic and with a fun concept where you're in an underwater facility and you're trying to get out, but then you realize there's more people everywhere trying to eat you.
Oh my god!
And they can also mess with your mind.
Not my mind.
They have like I think it's like sonar or something, so they can like
sonar my brain.
No, they can
change the patterns of my brain, the brain waves.
They can change how you perceive things because the sonar is messing with like your
That's
ears.
a cool idea.
And it's like you don't know what's what. Who's
so it's
who.
A lot of cool ideas that lead to nothing. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it gets to the end, and then you think like, oh wow, that's kind of a depressing ending. But then it keeps going, and they're like something like 50 years, 100 years into the future, this lady can swim with dolphins, and she's talking to the mer people. I'm like, what? The queen is in a blimp. She's trying to take over the world. We can't let her do that. And I was like, what happened to the underwater facility?
Oh my gosh, that sounds ridiculous.
It goes off the rails so fast.
I mean, I might need to read it to compare which one is weirder. Michael says, Amanda, stop trying to make Nightwalkers happen. Look, I just read, I was so invested in it. It took me so long to find the final issue because it wasn't in my LCS and I had to like hunt it down, and then I finally got it. I like ordered it in special, and then I read it and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, Philosopher King got it. Yeah, they can.
I spent so
much time. They can manipulate you like how mermaids would.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of Black Cloak has kind of like a similar thing where like the mermaids like mess with your brain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, it was a cool.
Also, you
horror
guys should
concept,
read
but
Black
then
Cloak. That's an indie
nothing
comic that's
happened.
really great, that things do happen. Thrakis, thank you so much for subscribing
So yes.
over on YouTube.
So Hellboy.
Hellboy. Also, Daniel, thank you for saying I'm not dumb. I appreciate that.
Hellboy's fun.
I liked Hellboy. From what we read of it, I really liked it. We have to finish it.
I've read everything
It's
Hellboy
really good.
except for the final arc.
The art is so perfect.
I still can't. I'm a huge
You just don't
Hellboy
wanna
fan.
finish
I've
it.
been reading since it first started. I mean,
But can't we go? Isn't there new BPRD stuff that they came out with? Because wasn't there new stuff like even like last year?
yeah, they're still releasing stuff, but it's just kind of like.
And it's still Mike Mignola, right?
Yeah, it's continuity here and there, like sprinkled, because Hellboy's got such a long storied past.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Hellboy's one of those things I've had in my life for so long. It's like I can't bring myself to finish it. I will one day, but it's like I'm so close to ending it. And I know, yeah, I still do read all the Hellboy stories. Like, what was the latest one? Mecha Hellboy or Robot? That one's so cool, so good.
God.
It's just
Also-
a giant metal Hellboy fighting a kaiju.
Amusing
But-
streamer is asking vampires versus DC. We'll add that on after Venom. I have thoughts on that, but
Okay, so Venom, the safe word is Nightwalkers. If at any point you get confused, just
Nightwalkers
type
in the chat.
Nightwalkers in chat. So I'm gonna go
Good luck. I'm
from
gonna
start to finish.
get us more tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as I can. So
I'll be right back.
quick roundup at the end of Donny Cates' run, because this ties into
Buckle
this.
up, buddies, because this one's crazy.
Eddie Brock becomes the King in Black. Basically becomes the leader, the top of the food chain of the hive mind of all symbiotes. He is trying to do work not just on Earth, but throughout all of space, and he gave Venom, the Venom symbiote, to his son Dylan Brock, who is now Venom on Earth. One thing leads to another. Eddie dies. His human body is blown up, and so in front of Dylan. So now Dylan is like, well, my dad's dead. Guess I'll just be on Earth now and try and figure out this Venom thing on my own. Turns out, because Eddie's part of a hive mind, he gets put into the garden, which is where all the kings in black reside, and he meets all these other kings in blacks. There's Bedlam, who's this giant red, like, hulking symbiote. There's this, like, dumb-looking symbiote. There's one who's kind of, like, scraggly, he's, like, barely holding it together. And then there's this one guy named Meridius, who's got giant horns, big purple sash and cloak.
Evil Webline has redeemed a hydrate.
A clink. And he basically tells Eddie, like, this is where all... Yes, Eddie dies again. This is where all kings and blacks come. This is where you'll now reside, is in the garden. And Eddie is, like, a living symbiote. Just a
Okay,
black
Google, change
shape.
mood light to red.
So, that's the setup for this run. Does it sound weird? Yes, because it is very weird. However, high concept Venom is some of my favorite Venom writing ever. So, this is where it gets even weirder. Turns out that all of those other Kings in Blacks are actually all Eddie Brock through different points of time in history who keep coming back to the garden.
This is where you guys are really weird.
So, the weird-looking scraggly guy, who's barely holding himself together, is Eddie the first time he comes back to the garden and gets his ass kicked, and is basically holding on for dear life. And then he's, like, on the verge of death, and, like, I don't know if I can do this. And then he watches himself as the previous Eddie Brock that you saw at the beginning of the comic come out of the water and arrive at the garden for the first time. And that's when he realizes it's all cyclical. And then he becomes Bedlam, and then Bedlam becomes the next guy, so on and so forth, until eventually down the line he becomes Meridius, who is like the ultimate evil. Basically, if Kang had a symbiote who can time travel and is basically looking to kill the world.
Dante, have we read your role-playing story yet? Have you shared it? Did you share it in the Discord? The Dan Duo is here. Yes, the Dan Duo is here. Before, the trio was here. But now, tis duo.
Check it out in the Discord, if that's where it's at.
I think that's where it's at.
I gotta check it out still.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You also have Venom. Do you want to show that?
Oh, yeah,
Because
I
that
got
could be
the-
relevant
I
at this
I
moment.
got the latest Venom. If you want to start showing this while I...
Daniel says safe word, Nightwalkers.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
It's only gonna get weirder.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But it's really cool. I'm just giving you the Cliff's Notes here, but it gets really interesting as you read it as it's happening.
When Duck was like unfolding through this Venom sphere, he was like so excited to tell me what was going on with Venom, and he would like tell me. I'd be like sitting there and I'd just be like, I'm sorry, so like now this is what's happening? And like, so Eddie's dead, but he's alive, but he also exists like through all time. What?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
So the garden is essentially
I was like, that's a lot.
a circle with like
I said, that
rings
sounds
in
Ewing
it.
to me. Very cosmic.
Yeah. And he's basically working his way through the rings. And at a certain point, Eddie decides, screw this, I'm gonna steal Dr. Doom's time machine and punch myself through the middle of the rings to get to the end of it as fast as I possibly can. He finds a way to basically break the cycle in a way while also keeping the garden going. So everything else is still happening in time.
Ken Lashley.
He meets Bedlam on Earth, basically breaks him,
We love
absorbs
Ken
him,
Lashley.
creates
He's so
this
nice.
crazy new four-armed red symbiote Venom hybrid thing, and then hops on the Fantastic car, goes back in time, or sorry, technically forward in time, to when he's about to arrive in the garden, and crash lands the ship into all the other Venoms, and basically declares war on himself.
Nightwalkers.
And that's about where we are right now, until you find out that Carnage is also involved, and that's when things are getting weird. But
That's when things are getting weird?
in terms of the plot.
That's when things.
Yeah.
I think things got weird a long time ago.
So, they've decided to interject Carnage into this story just kind of out of nowhere.
Oh, he's got his wings.
Mm-hmm.
I love when Venom has his wings.
And so things just seem like they're not going to fit. But I trust in Ewing, because one of my favorite things about this is that anytime there was a crossover event like Dark Web, which we established earlier in the stream is
Don't
not
look
great.
at this.
Dark Web happened,
you.
and Ewing managed to make the crossovers with Dark Web matter in his Venom run. And I can't believe that he did it, but he did.
Also, but honestly though, the one thing that I want to say just about Amazing Spider-Man, I know we're talking about Venom.
Black Phoenix 77, yes, it is a confusing comic.
The
However,
art in this is so good.
all of the pieces are there for you if you want to look for it. I'm a big fan of doing that in comics, so like I'm okay with that, but I understand it's not for everybody.
But I was gonna say, oh, the one thing I just wanted to say about ASM is that, like, the one thing that I also want to say, though, and something that, like, I personally think is important when it comes to comics, and when we talk about stories that we like or don't like, is that, like, we shouldn't, like, bash creative teams, because just because they write one bad thing that we don't like, or, you know, bad thing is, like, also defined by us.
People work hard on these things.
People work really hard, and that doesn't mean that they're bad creatives, so.
However, I will say that Woke Dragon makes a good point. I love the idea that the girl that explains comics gets confused by a comic explanation.
Oh my gosh, Venom is like so much though. I think I had to explain it in a video, and I was writing it based on our conversations on Venom, and then I literally wrote it and then was like, Duck, like, is this correct? And he was like, yeah, that's basically it. I was like, all right, just making sure, because I was like, so when this happens, and then he was like, you don't have to talk about this part, like this part might just confuse people more, so maybe just leave that out. He was just helping me remove the things that are maybe too confusing.
Oh, Musing Streamer, if you're talking about a Spider-Man who laughs, I think you mean the Peter Parker who chortles, and he just showed up recently in Zebbel's Spider-Man when he got infected with the Goblin. What would you call that? Memories?
I think that's what maybe they're referring to, actually.
God, what a...
Dante says I've sent it to Discord, but I can send it again if you want. Yeah. Send it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been real busy around these parts.
Yeah, it's been real busy around these parts, but I do want to read it.
Yeah, we'll definitely get
Even
around.
when the shares things on the Discord, just know if I don't get around to it, it's not because I don't want to read stuff. It's just because I literally work all the time.
Also,
so I don't always have as much time as I'd like.
When are we getting a Paul solo comic?
A Paul solo comic?
Mm-hmm.
Paul Atreides?
No, Paul.
Which Paul?
The main character of Zebwell's Spider-Man.
Oh, Paul Mini?
Yeah,
when are we getting
we need
Paul ongoing?
It's gonna break records.
No, I can't.
Paul, the story that goes on forever.
However, I think I am going to get, I mean, I did add it to my poll. I'm gonna get Black Cat and Jackpot, even though.
It could be good. That's all I'll say.
I like the characters. I don't like Mary Jane as Jackpot, but you know what? I haven't read a lot of ASM as well.
Face
so
it,
like
Tiger, the jackpot just
hit you. But also I feel like I haven't read a lot of ASM right now. So although I do say many things about it, I haven't really read it, so it's kind of hard for me to fully judge it. I just every now and then go like, what's going on with this? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Remember when Ms. Marvel died in ASM? Kamala died for her sins.
Oh, don't worry, Kamala's a mutant now. We're good.
That was an editorial thing. You know it was.
Well, that was a thing to. Well, you mean her becoming a mutant?
The
whole dying thing. And yeah. That was a whole. That was definitely editorial.
All editorial.
That editorial written all over it. There's no way some writer was like, or some artist was like, you know what we should do? What if we did this? I mean, but it was also an opportunity to change the character back to.
Oh, amusing streamer,
the OG.
Ramita has checked out. I love her. Like I said before, I love Ramita.
That cover.
Well, I mean, love is a strong word. I enjoy Ramita's work. He's done some really cool spreads. His run on the Mighty Thor.
So I'm just gonna plug the Discord for
was
anyone.
Awesome. I thought some of those pages were like, bar none, like some of the best comic art that was coming out at the time. However, some of this ASM stuff that's been going on, I love Zebwell's work.
Yeah.
Pre this ASM run. It's just not clicking for me. None of it's clicking except for Paul.
Well,
Paul's
the only character you like.
That keeps on.
I like
giving.
Rec Rap. We need a Rec Rap series. I need more Rec Rap. I'd be more into it then.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited for Dark Web too when it was announced. So upsetting.
Yeah, what happened to Punchline, Peter? I don't even know.
Punchline had her own series. I have an issue from it. Yeah, what's she doing? Where's she at? You know what? It's because Tinian left though, and Tinian created her, so.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
where's Ghostmaker right now?
He was in Batman Inc. for a while until that got canceled.
Yeah, because it
So-
was not very good. Just my opinion. I only read issue 1, but I was not compelled.
So, Musing Streamer, here's the thing. I agree with you. Wells does work very well on team books. I feel like that's where he shines. Where one of the best things that I love about classic Spider-Man, I guess not classic, like let's say 90s,
90s Spider-Man?
80s, Spider-Man has some of the best secondary characters in all of comics. If you just like break it down and you think about it.
Break it down for me.
Break it down for me. Harry Osborn, you know, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, Captain Stacy,
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson, Robbie, like all these amazing characters who everyone knows are all just kind of background characters in the life of Spider-Man. We don't have that anymore in Spider-Man, I feel like. We don't really have these characters, or if we get them, they end up in a coma, they die, they get infected with goblin serum, and they have to leave the city, like Carly Cooper. Like, all of, like, why? Why can't we just have Spider-Man stories about him being friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and doing stuff?
I mean, we can.
I mean, this is old man yells at cloud, like, I miss my Spider-Man, but...
Remember when Peter was married? I miss when he was married.
I know, I read it. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Read it.
Read it. It's great.
So good.
So I see folks are talking about, so Imprint Jones is saying, I don't like Ghostmaker. Why don't you like Ghostmaker, Imprint Jones? Did you read the backup stories for Ghostmaker that like explains his origins?
I know you like that.
They're really good. I don't know, maybe you read them and you didn't like it, so. And then we're talking about Kamala Khan becoming a mutant. And yeah, just to clarify, Kamala's, Woke Dragon is correct. Kamala's original origin that they wanted for her was they wanted her to be a mutant, but they were told no by editorial because they were trying to push in humans at the time. Because
on the way out.
Because X-Men, they don't have the rights, so they thought, well, we'll make her really cool, make her an Inhuman because we're trying to make Inhumans cool. And I mean, that kind of worked because Kamala was really cool and she was an Inhuman, so that was cool. But then because that was the original origin they wanted for her, and now like mutants are back in because now they have the rights back, then they were like, we'll add in that she's also a mutant. So yeah, now she's like a mutant and human like hybrid. Which I also am like, what does that even mean? But apparently you can be both. I don't know. It's a weird retcon in the sense of like what they're doing with it, I feel like. But it's not weird when you consider the character's origin like behind the scenes, like just the creation of the character and the original intention of her creators. So I do like it for that. Like, I like them adding it because I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice for the original creators. But what I don't like is how much it confuses all of our brains and makes us go, but what about Inhumans? And then they're like, no, we don't like Inhumans anymore. And you're like, oh.
Yes, but Antonio, give me more Weird World comics.
I don't see why we can't have both Inhumans and mutants either. Like, they're totally different.
Donny Cates had to kill them all.
I know. Poor Donny Cates.
Oh yeah, so Azorius, I agree with you. Mary Jane makes Peter better, but I'll expand upon that. His entire cast of characters make Peter better.
True.
That's when Spider-Man is at its best.
At its best. Mm-hmm. Dante says Spider-Man and MJ deserve to be together. If anything, kill off Paul. Kill Paul. I don't know if Paul needs to die, but Paul definitely needs to get the heck out of here because he's ruining everything.
I don't know why y'all gotta hate on Paul like this. The guy
oh my
just
gosh.
comes in. The guy just wants to live
Down
his life.
with Paul. Down with Paul. Down with Paul. Yeah,
I'm here for the MJ Paul wedding
romance
issue.
Oh my gosh.
Save the date. No, I'm like, if I can just break the facade here, I hate it. I hate it.
We were so close. Remember when Nick Spencer finished his run and I thought, oh my gosh,
we were
are MJ and Peter gonna get married again and we're gonna like undo that retcon that never should have happened?
Do I have to make a deal with Mephisto to
and
get
then
them
we had a
married
weird
again?
time skip and then they weren't together for some reason? Isn't the reason that they broke up, I didn't read it, but isn't the reason that they broke up also like ridiculous?
It's the whole run so far. It is a
explained?
series of conveniences that lead into why
they break up
forward.
No, but when they broke up originally, because remember they were together at the Hellfire Gala, and then we have that time skip, and then MJ's with Paul. Oh, but is that because she went into like another dimension
where Paul is from? Yes.
And then she was trapped there, is that what drew them apart?
In the 24 hours that it took for
but
Peter
for her it was
there,
years.
It was like 5 years or something.
Oh. Well, there's not much you can do about that.
What if they did a comic where all the Ghost Riders fought together? Random thought. I think that's called.
I think they've done that.
Ghost Riders.
Yeah, that exists.
I never read it, but I'm pretty sure I saw that on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah, Ghost Riders.
Yeah,
I think I've seen parts of it.
Musing streamer. I spent 3 years without you, living in a codependent relationship. I can't be with you now. Also, I have kids. Where did these kids come from? We found them.
We just stumbled upon them. I'm sure nothing
like
bad will happen with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am like, just like, why?
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. When Peter gets mad at everyone for no reason, and he's like, I can't explain it to you guys. You won't understand.
And they're literally like, Peter, we want to understand.
Me, Reed Richards.
Captain America.
My toilet is a time machine. What do you mean I won't understand this?
I'm always believing the best in people, Peter. Just tell me what's up. Please, it's me, Steven Rogers. I'm a good guy.
Remember me? I was in World War II.
Peter's like, I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah, give me your shield, Steve, and he
Smashes him in the face.
Critter Nation, the tale
I was
of
like, what is happening? Peter, please. Although, I think we were talking about that, and then you were like, I mean, Peter has a lot going on. And I'm like, yeah, clearly.
I was trying to find any way to justify this horrible story.
Well, I mean, he obviously does have a lot going on, to be fair to Peter. But I don't think it justifies bashing Captain America with his own shield. Seems a bit much. I mean, you know who I could see getting away with a move like that? Daredevil. Daredevil, I feel like, but Daredevil always has like insane stuff going on.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about depression?
And Daredevil's also like a more of a lone wolf.
If Peter ran into Matt during that whole thing, Matt would have had some words.
Matt would have been like, you don't even understand what like challenges are.
Like, remember when I had to wipe everyone's minds to forget who I was because my life got so bad? That's the point I had to get to.
Ooh, pity party between Spider-Man and Daredevil. Who wins?
Who's reading this?
I don't know.
It's the saddest book of all time.
Saddest book ever.
That's
Everyone's playing their violins, their tiny violins.
That's like when Sokka tells Zuko, he's like, and my girlfriend turned into the moon.
Yeah.
That's rough, bro.
Oh, that's rough. What are we at? We got like 5 more minutes. I'll show you guys Duke.
Yeah, you go through Duke.
Was there something else we were gonna? Oh, DC versus Vampires.
Oh, yes.
Someone was asking about DC versus Vampires.
Wait,
okay, so I haven't read DC versus Vampires. I haven't read the whole thing. I've only read parts of it. I've read issues.
I read the mainline comic. I didn't read any of the spin-offs.
I read a few issues of it. I followed it a little bit when Sasha was talking about it on Casually Comics. That was enough for me. Thank you very much. They literally killed iVampire at the beginning. And I was like, I'm so disappointed.
This was a series that was built for you.
And they took one of the best characters they would have had for that series, and what did they do with him? In like the first issue, doesn't he get killed?
Yeah. Green Lantern kills him.
I was like, I'm so upset about this. So I couldn't get past that, and then I read a couple issues, and then I was like, this just seems silly.
Alright, good night, Daniel. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, Daniel! Oh my gosh, 4 a.m. Yes, good night. Good night. It's so late for you.
Impaler Monarch says Daredevil comics are just awesome.
I started at the Frank Miller era and just literally read up until modern day. I stopped when the Zdarsky run happened. I read everything up until that point. And then I moved on to other things because I needed to, because I was losing my mind because it was so sad. But yeah, Daredevil is probably maybe one of the most consistently written comics from a certain point. And it just like keeps getting better. And there's little ups and downs here and there. Like I won't pretend that Shadowland was great, but like
Shadowland, from everything that I've seen, is not great. It's the opposite.
Yeah, it's a little rough, but like the Bendis and Maleev stuff is great.
Okay, here, I'll show you guys Duke.
Yeah,
that's my opinion on DC versus Vampires.
I like DC versus Vampires the first half, and then the second half, I don't know why that just.
I didn't even like the beginning.
It killed all the hype for me.
I mean, parts of it are cool.
Musing streamer, you take that back. Except the armor years, you lie.
The armor years. So here we are in Duke, issue number 3. I still have to read Duke. I will say, though, I still really love this artwork. Look at this. Freaking great. Also, Primus, I don't do dares for bits. I also don't have reading glasses, so I don't have access to any reading glasses.
Was that Baroness?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey. Look at that passport.
Hey.
Definitely hers.
Look at those glasses. Definitely her. Can tell just from the glasses. Look at these glasses.
I'm so ready to jump.
I think she had reading glasses, I'll tell you that.
I'm so ready to jump in and read more Energon universe, like.
Can't wait to jump into Duke and Cobra Commander. I have to catch up.
And I'll be honest with you. I never thought I was never a G.I. Joe person. I never thought I would be enjoying G.I. Joe comics
Isn't it
as much
so
as this.
fun though?
They're so good.
Yeah.
They're so fun.
G.I. Joe is so good. We should do a G.I. Joe marathon together, and we can watch the cartoon.
I like zero interest in anything G.I. Joe. Couldn't care less. And then
Well, we watched the movies together, and you seemed to enjoy the movies.
sorry. I take that back. The 80s animated film
Oh, the 80s
is
animated film as well.
unbelievable. The
But
opening
we watched the live action.
musical number, which is real, is amazing.
Amusing Streamer says, Hasbro always changing creative studios with their products is honestly genius. It kind of is. I don't know if it's intentional, but it works out in their favor, I think, a lot of the time.
I like.
I don't know if it's...
I like the Transformers Boom stuff, but I mean, if Boom just didn't run out of money,
I
they
mean...
would have kept publishing.
Boom. Yeah, Boom has some things.
Well, it's been great hanging out with everybody.
You gonna head out?
But it is time for me to go back to the moon,
Back to the moon with you,
where I belong.
where you duck around on the moon.
The uppest of towns I can go. But I know you have your...
I'm gonna open this secret layer pack for you guys, and
Amanda's still gonna be here.
because we reached the goal last time, and I'm so sorry that I spaced out on you. I do not know where my mind was.
Thanks, RuPaula.
Probably preparing to devolve into a migraine, because that's what happened to me after. The duck side of the moon.
It won't get better than that. That's fantastic.
That's great.
Thanks,
All right.
Musing Streamer. Thanks, Woke Dragon. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
So we're gonna...
Thanks for being awesome. Bye.
Bye. We should definitely do a G.I. Joe watch party, though. I mean, we could also do one on Discord. I don't know if we should do it on stream or we should do it on Discord. Discard. Welcome to Discard, children. I don't know what's happening. I'm, like, becoming some sort of... I don't know if I'm Irish or what that was. Anyways, we're going to open this Secret Lair drop series, Meditations on Nature pack. I'm just going to adjust my camera, actually. Oh, whoops. Keep hitting the live scene when I don't mean to. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if these are foil, so I'm going to turn the light off, but they might be a little bit dark. Hopefully they aren't too dark. Let me move my chat so it's not right lined up with me. I'll move it, boop, up in this corner where Duck was. Y'all can be Duck. Also, thank you everyone so much for joining me for this stream, me and Duck. I had so much fun. I think this is what I'm gonna do, like, going forward, is like we're gonna keep it cash. Also, Woke Dragon, good night if you are leaving, or if you're saying good night to us, thank you. I'm still here for a little bit, but Chris, hello, how's it going? Welcome on in. Scarlet Fan says, I used to love the old G.I. Joe series. Did something change, Scarlet Fan, or do you still love it and you just mean like back when it was first out and you were like, this is great? I love the old G.I. Joe series now. I would love to do like a watch-along marathon with you guys. So we got a little thank you card from Secret Lair. I don't know if I have this one. Oh my gosh, stop changing to the wrong thing. Please, Amanda. Thank you for being part of Secret Lair. You're welcome, Secret Lair. And I have these cards here. I really love like these paper wrappings that they do, or these wax wrappings. I guess they're wax, just to keep the moisture out of the cards. G.I. Joe does have an extreme fire intro theme. This is correct. Wow, wowzers! I already really love this. So we have a basic plains that is foil and super pretty. And then we have a basic island, which is also foil and super pretty. Oh, you're good, Chris. Just happy that you're here to join us. It's all good. Ooh, this swamp is super creepy. Are these all lands? I don't remember. Look how bent they already are. Look at this. Do you guys see this? The magic foils, they just bend so fast. I'll have to sleeve these like immediately. Mountain. Amusing Streamer says, I love to remind people that 95% of the lore of G.I. Joe and Transformers is thanks to Marvel. True enough. Ooh, I like how bamboo-y this forest is. These are really, really pretty. And then finally, yeah, I guess they are just pretty lands. We have a Nettle Sentinel. A creature, an elf warrior. This is a forest type, or green. Nettle Sentinel doesn't untap during your untap step. Whenever you cast a green spell, you may untap Nettle Sentinel. Interesting. I don't know how I would use this. Those Shadowmoor's monster-haunted wilds beckon. She never leaves her post. And she is a 2/2. Try to bring you a little closer to see if we can check out that art. It's kind of hard to see because it's a foil, but yeah, she pretty. I definitely need some side lighting, especially for like the foils. I don't know how to light these because I always want to show you them closer up, but I think I really like the mountain card from this set. The island card is really pretty as well, with like the little waterfall. And the plains is like also probably the easiest one to see on camera. But this one's really pretty. The little burbs, the little flowers. So cute. I just want to like walk into this card. All right, friends. All right. That's everything for today. What are people saying in chat before I go?
Are you gonna raid?
I might.
You should raid Jacob.
Raid Jacob?
From Funhouse.
Oh. Is Jacob streaming right now? I don't think I follow him. Do you want to put it in here? What's his... let's pull it up on a new tab. What's Jacob's... Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about the stuff that happened with Funhouse and Rooster Teeth today, but rough day for those people. Oh yeah, Jacob is streaming. Oh my gosh, what's he doing? He's
building Gundams.
Building Gundams. That's cute. Sorry, you can probably hear that on my stream. Yeah, we could totally raid Jacob. Let's raid Jacob. Let's spread some love to some people that probably need it today. But before we do, I'll check in with chat one last time before I go. See what y'all are saying. Amusing Streamer says Hasbro has a bunch of their cartoons on YouTube for free. They do. They do. Although I'm still not sure if I can like stream them. I don't know. I need to reach out to Hasbro and ask them if that's okay. Warrior Commando says, I've been binge watching all the G.I. Joe episodes for the last couple of weeks on YouTube. I know. It's so fun to binge watch them, right? I'm with you. Imprint Jones says, Uptown needs to cosplay as Cobblepot because he's one cool bird being able to sit next to the Canadian Poison Ivy. That would be a fun cosplay. I really want to do... We were talking about doing a Pokemon Concierge cosplay. I really want to do that. I think that could be fun. Nettle Sentinel is part of an elf combo pack. Ooh, nice. Are your eyes blinded by the foils? All right, y'all. Well, I hope you all have a great night. What are the cards for, Scarlet Fan? They're for Magic. They are from this set, Secret Lair. They do very limited prints of special Magic cards that they do themselves. This one was Meditations on Nature. So it's just a bunch of like really pretty lands that you could mix in with your stuff. I have a bunch of Secret Lairs that I still have to open, so I save them for streams, and if we make goal, then we do that. And we reached goal last time, and I forgot to open it, so here we are. All right, friends, I think we're going to throw a raid over to Jacob Full if you were here with me on Twitch. And if you were here with me on YouTube, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you all. Go check out Jacob's stream. He's building Gundams. If you don't know Jacob, if you don't know Funhouse, it's a super awesome place, and I really hope that everyone on there is going to be able to do something after, because they're all like really entertaining, really great streamers, performers. I really wish them all the best. So yeah, let's go make Jacob's night and send him a little rate, send him a little love. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. It's been lovely. I'll see y'all next time. I'll be back on... Oh, I didn't update my schedule, but I'll be back tomorrow. I'm actually going to be on Casually Comics with Sasha. We're going to be talking about Green Lantern and Green Arrow together. It'll be really fun, so join me over there for Thursday night. I'll post the links in Discord and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. We're doing a little collab. Should be good. All right, I'll see y'all next time. And until then, friends, stay nerdy.